What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Talking Ball. Jack here, and today I'm going to be discussing my top 7 Duke players currently in the NBA. Now, before I get started here, I just want to mention that I chose 7. I know it's a bit of a weird number here, but I think there's a clear gap of 7 guys who've kind of distinguished themselves above the rest of the Duke players in the NBA in terms of talent and abilities. Now, before I continue here, I just want to tell everybody to check us out on talkingballblog.wordpress.com for all of our great content there. Now, without further ado here, at number 7, I have Justice Winslow. He really emerged last year as a rookie, as a defensive stopper. Everyone knew that going in, and he showcased that ability, and he was a great defender, really, and even in the playoffs playing a lot of center. Showcasing that versatility. Now this year, without Dwayne Wade, without Chris Bosh, without Luol Deng, another fellow Dookie, really he's going to have an opportunity to showcase if he has improved offensively over the summer, and I think he has. But, until he really showcases that offensive game, and particularly, shooting the basketball, his ceiling can only be so high, although he is already a great defender. Now at the number 6 spot, I have Mason Plumlee. He's really developed nicely into a solid NBA center. Last year he played about 25 minutes a game for the Trailblazers, but the number that really jumps out to me is 3 assists. He was really dishing the ball very nicely in that Portland offense, and really for a center to average that many assists, you really can tell right off the bat that is a great passing big man, and he sure is. And on top of his other abilities in terms of finishing at the basket and being a solid defensive center and being a pick and roll player on offense, he's really developed into a solid offensive and defensive center in the league. Now at the number 5 spot, I have Rodney Hood, and I think Rodney Hood is someone that is kind of looked over a little bit, especially since he plays for Utah. But he very quietly last year put up 14.5 points and 3 rebounds and 3 assists on that Utah team, who was really projected to do a little bit better last season, but struggled with many injuries. And this year is definitely expected big things out of them and a playoff berth at the very least. And I really expect him to really shine in the first couple of weeks of the season here as Gordon Hayward is out, and really expect him to put up some nice numbers, so pay attention to that. Now at the number 4 spot here, I have Jahlil Okafor, and yes, he is much maligned for his defensive abilities, but I will say this, he was playing on a terrible Philadelphia team that didn't really accentuate his strengths, and so he really had to do a lot of things by himself. And I'm not trying to make excuses for him. I'm just saying that for a rookie to come in and average, 17.5 points, 7 rebounds on a team that is very poorly designed and, really just trying to lose games is very impressive to me. And I only expect him to get better. Now, do I think he'll ever become a elite defensive center? No. Do I think he'll become even a very good one? No. But do I think that he's got the chance to be a standout offensive player and a throwback center who you can center your offense around? Yes. And therefore, he's going to cause lots of mismatches on both ends of the court, granted, but especially, the NBA is still about offense no matter how you slice it, and his offensive game is really, outstanding. At the number 3 spot, though, I have JJ Redick, and this guy, obviously he was a great Duke player, but his first couple years in the league, it seemed to take him some time to get adjusted, and he's really changed. First off, his whole body has changed. He's added lots of muscle throughout his career, but his game has evolved. He still runs around the 3-point line and all of that, but he is able to, come in and knock down mid-range jumpers now. And last season, averaging, 17 points for the Clippers. He's been doing that for a couple of years now and has become a major stalwart in their offense and shot it at 48% from 3. Yeah, 48%. That is ridiculous. He's obviously a great player and has even become, a solid defensive player who definitely understands all of the team defensive concepts if he's not a standout, one-on-one defender as it is. Now, at the number 2 spot, I am projecting a little bit here, but I do have Jabari Parker. And I do think, he's going to improve After the All-Star break last year, he had some numbers that I think people may have slept on. He put up 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists after the All-Star break, and he seemed to really get his legs under him. After that ACL tear his rookie year, it seemed to take him a bit of time to get going his sophomore season, but once he did, it sure seemed like, and as evidenced by the numbers, he's ready to take his mark on the NBA and become a major player. Now, I'm not sure that means, an All-Star berth this season, but I surely expect him to average similar to those post-All-Star break numbers and even increase those rebounding numbers, especially without Chris Middleton there for the majority of this season. Now, at the number 1 spot, and the most obvious selection for me, and I think for all Duke fans, is Kyrie Irving. I mean, obviously his regular season numbers have been very good throughout his career, and he's a 3-time All-Star. But last year's playoff games, in 21 games, he put up a ridiculous 25 points and 5 assists on 44% shooting from 3. And I know you guys all remember the shot to win Game 7. And so this guy is just a standout player and one of the better Duke players of all time in the NBA already. But guys, let me know what you think about this list. Who do you think I left off, or do you disagree with the order? Remember to subscribe, comment, share, and like this video, and thanks for listening.